Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Devils41 here, going to bring you guys a quick video today, just kind of giving you an update on the G80 as well as doing some fixes on the E46. Today, we are actually going to be working on this right here. So this is my, I got this maybe about 3 months ago or so. It is a Dynavin D8 Pro. This goes in the E46 and is one of the better kind of units. But I have been experiencing some issues with it. I did a firmware upgrade on it, and then actually am not able to get any sound out of it. So talked to Jeff over at Dynavin. He told me to check a couple of things. You know, I had replaced the battery, and then one of the other issues that I guess were kind of happening out of this, ever since I did get the unit, I haven't been able to, our sound's been a little bit intermittent on it. So when I did talk to Jeff, he did say that sometimes when they get either low battery or there's some issues kind of with the amp turning on, it's not getting that 12-volt signal. So going to check it today to see if it is getting that 12-volt signal. So I'm going to have you guys along for the ride and also probably do some voiceover along the same time. So hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, if you have any questions about the Dynavin unit as well, more than happy to answer the questions on those. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll get after it right now. So here we have the actual unit. So this one actually plugs straight into the canvas. So I'm actually going to cut myself off from talking right here, because what I want to actually talk about is that plug sitting right there. So if you do notice, it isn't clicked in all the way. This is something that actually took me a while to figure out as I was going through it, but as you'll see in a second, you'll see why I stopped actually testing the amp, because I am actually getting sound out of the unit. So it was because that main plug wasn't clicked all the way into this unit, so that would be why I was having the actual issue. But we'll see, you know, what I go through the actual troubleshooting process and what I actually come to the conclusion. Work with just the head unit by itself. Let's see. Okay. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, there it is.
And now it works.
Well, and then Tuesday is right. Yeah. So
now it's working.
Space, and especially in the education space.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason when I put it back in here, I don't know if there's like something that shorts out or what. I'm gonna shake these wires around and see what it is. Yeah.
Shrinking did market tanked because it knew, hey, that means the reserve is going to have to continue. So not only are they going to do what they get worse, but they're not going to back off just because the market's down. All the future, but what's there in crystal ball? Get safely back to the ground in that plane, you've got a problem. Well, the same thing goes with.
Seems like we got to work in. So all I did was actually plug back in that main plug in the back. It wasn't making actually a good connection, so replugged it. It seems to be working now, so we'll see if that actually does fix it. That probably was more user error on my side of it. Yeah, it seems like we've got the issue fixed now, so I'm going to go ahead and put back on the trim, and that should be it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, how's it going, everyone? We are back inside now, so I wanted to bring you an update on the G80 and really just what's going on with it right now. So back when I made the original video of talking about the G80, I only got an allocation. I actually did not have a build week or an actual production number. which is what you really need to start to be able to kind of track it. If you do know how kind of they're built, you get a production number, and then once you get that production number, you're able to plug it into my BMW, at least from what I've seen on the USA side, and it's going to let you start kind of tracking it once it gets scheduled for production, then kind of goes into production from there. So with those kind of updates, just wanted to talk about what actually happened with the build, because there were a couple of options that I did have to change on it just because of the timing and everything that was going on kind of within the times. Right now, rates for loans are starting to go up, especially within auto loans. So what I did was about maybe a month or a month and a half ago was I actually went ahead and locked in my rate as soon as I got an allocation, even though I did not have an actual production number at that time. So my client advisor actually was talking with one of his reps. One of his reps had a build going into production, I think the following week, that somebody had dropped out on. So when there is one of those builds kind of going in, once it gets set, it was actually set as an X drive. So once that's pre-spec'd as an X drive, you can't actually change it, but you can change a couple of the other options, at least when it comes to interior or really anything else. So because it was an X drive option or was pre-spec'd as it, I had to take it as an X drive. So the 2023 M3 competition I have coming in is going to be an X drive, which I was okay with, because of the other options and how you're able to turn off the four-wheel drive and have it as a rear-wheel drive. Really wasn't that big of a deal for me, and for resale sake, I think the X drive is actually doing better right now anyways. With that being said, there were a couple other caveats that really came with it. Because I was trying to time it, because I did lock in my rate, I only have a certain amount of time to really, for BMW, at least financial services, to kind of honor that rate, right? So what ended up happening was the Fjord Blue interior was considered an individual option. So because of that, at the time, they wouldn't allow me to actually pick that as an option. So I had to go with the Fiona Red interior. So as we see, kind of looking at the options right here, we do have the Fiona Red interior. Talking with my wife, I ended up giving up the carbon buckets as well, because those were adding about another 6 weeks. So, part of the reason I did give up the carbon bucket seats were because I didn't end up going with a Fjord Blue, which is considered an individual option. The Fiona Red bucket seats, I feel like are going to be, more popular. They're going to be, out there a little bit more, at least when it comes to the resale market. So I can always retrofit, the bucket seats when I get down the road and really want to do that. So really wasn't a make or break kind of deal for me. So, really from there, really wasn't, a killer to get the regular seats. All the other options are pretty much the same. I did get the parking assistance package. I did get the executive package, and then the drive recorder as well. I think that's all the options that I ended up getting, at least from the original build that I had before. So with that being said, it is actually in transit right now. I think it went into transit, it was maybe last week around this time. So maybe around like the 15th or so was when it actually went into transit. When I did get the actual production number, it was the beginning of August. And then I think BMW, the plant had actually shut down for 2 weeks. So I had actually read that it shuts down for, 2 weeks for people to go on vacation or kind of holiday or anything like that. But it did shut down for 2 weeks, and then as soon as the factory, I guess, came back online, my car seemed to move into production, and then really within like 4 days it was completed. I was a build week 36, so my actual production date was September, I think it was 6th, if memory serves. So September 6th, and then from there it went onto a train. I think it was coming out of Munich, and then ships on to Bremerhaven, which is the actual port that it ships out of. So I think it sat at port for maybe a week. So it was loaded onto a ship that was shipped out just a few days ago. So what's actually pretty cool is I was able to talk to my client advisor, and he was able to give me the name of the ship. So it is actually sitting on the Grand Cosmo right now. So with this website, which is called Fleetmon, I was actually able to track the ship, and it's sitting somewhere in the North Mid-Atlantic. So tracking that right now, it did have one stop after Bremerhaven. It went to Southampton,
and then head left Southampton, and the next stop is going to be the Panama Canal. As soon as it goes to the Panama Canal, then it will go back up into California and Port Hume. Once it makes port there, it will go through BMW's, I think it's the VPC Center, where they'll kind of check everything out and make sure quality control is all good. Then it will actually get loaded onto a truck. It'll be shipped out to the dealership, and then the dealership will receive it, give me a call, and I'll be able to pick it up from there. So talking with my client advisor, they're saying it should be probably the end of October right now. So I will be, sharing that kind of story with you guys, and probably bringing the camera with me when I do go to pick it up. That being said, I do have a couple other projects that I am going to be working on, really after that. I did work with a local company that I'm going to be having doing the PPF, the ceramic, and the also window tint for it as well. And then from there, I'm going to be doing a couple other modifications. I did end up getting a Turner skid plate because I am going to be lowering it and putting it, or at least putting spacers on it as well. So I'll be sure to bring those videos for you. But I appreciate you, watching this video. If you have any questions about kind of the journey, really appreciate the support, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.